horses as well. Tell us, Terry, a little bit about the background of West Point Thoroughbreds and, in fact, about the name West Point Thoroughbreds.
Well, I graduated from the military academy in 1986, and I spent 8 years in the military. But I always loved the horses. You know, I worked on a farm, and as a kid, I worked on the racetrack, and always had it really in my blood. So, after I got out of the military, I sold insurance for about 18 months, and I didn't really like it. I didn't have a whole lot of passion, and I was doing this on the side, and I said, you know what, let me give it a shot to go full time, and that was about 22 years ago. So every day we get up and we get after it. So it's a great world that we're in, and I'm really enjoying it, and really look forward to today and tomorrow and in the future.
Now, your organization's what they call a syndicate, where a lot of different people get together under your organization and buy into a horse. Talk a little bit about the advantages of getting involved in a syndicate versus going out on your own.
Well, I'm biased, right, because I run a syndicate, but you know, a lot of good syndicates out there now, you know, they seem to pop up, and the ones that stay around, I think, are the ones that really do a good job, and they set the structure of the partnership up. But you know, our philosophy is we think it makes a lot more sense to own 10% of 10 horses rather than 100% of a single horse.
Obviously, it splits a great deal of the risk, and we all know, having followed the game, how volatile racehorses can be. I believe it was Charlie Whittingham said that they're like strawberries; they go bad overnight. But you've had some tremendous success with horses that have not gone bad at all. As soon as you walked on the set, the first thing I asked you about was my buddy Awesome Gem out in California. At the age of 9, he's a graded stakes winner this year.
Yeah, we're very proud of him. You know, he's been really the best horse we've ever owned, you know, by a good margin. He's really just under $3 million in career earnings, and you know, he's a 9-year-old, as you said. So if we could, as an industry, if we could have a lot more of those Awesome Gems owning horses, and the entire industry would be a lot better, in my humble opinion.
A lot of owners would be a lot happier too.
They
if you
would.
find a lot of those.
You've really grown your operation over the years. You've had, in addition to Awesome Gem, who's a real hard knocker, you've had some other horses, Dream Rush, Macho Again, Flashy Bull, horses like that. How have you been able to build on their success and build your business year by year?
Well, it all comes down to the partners. It really does. You know, you have to be in a position where you attract people that at least have an interest and want to share, you know, the excitement and the ownership of the horses with us. So it really starts with them, and then, you know, a good team, good trainers, and a good people in the organization as a whole. So it really is a team effort, and I'm accustomed to working in teams. And you know, when you look at the thoroughbred industry and the operations that are successful, inevitably you look back and you see a good team. It's, you know, that's a guarantee.
Tell us a little bit about some of the trainers that you have working for you right now. I've noticed that you've got some horses with some trainers I don't necessarily associate, for a long time anyhow, with West Point.
Well, we've actually cut back a little bit. You know, we cut down on the number of partners that we're putting into our partnerships. You know, we heard that our partnerships were getting too big. So right now they average between 12 and 15. We reduced our trainer roster. We have a number of horses with Tom Abertrani, Dale Romans, and Dallas Stewart. So we like the fact that that they're condensed, and we like the fact that the number of partners on each horse is reduced, because we think we can do a better job with the customer service and really give people, you know, as good of an experience as we can, win, lose, or draw.
One of my buddies I was mentioning to you before we went on the air, he owned part of his horse. The first horse he ever owned was a horse named Mr. Component, who broke his maiden for you guys up here at Saratoga. This is probably about 6 years ago now. And it was just the thrill of a lifetime for him and for all of us knowing him. Is that really what you're selling, the thrill of ownership, rather than getting into it to make a fortune?
Sure. Everybody knows. If you tell the truth and you're reasonable with people, you know, the financial side of the game is very, very difficult. Every once in a while you'll see somebody really hit the jackpot, and they'll reap the benefits of an IPO. They'll get a horse that will go to Kentucky to stand as a stallion. But, you know, very few, many are called, but few are chosen is what I say to people. So with that, you got to have a good experience, win, lose, or draw, and that's really one of the things that I love about the job that I'm in is when a person wins their first race at Saratoga, and they had been coming to Saratoga for 40 years, and the look on their face when they walk into that winner's circle is really an incredible feeling for me and of course for them as well.
Terry, going onto your website, which is a terrific website, I think it's one of the best racing websites in terms of getting information out to your, to the public and to partners, westpointtv.com. Notice you got a lot of 2-year-olds coming up through the ranks. This year they've instituted a different program for the 2-year-olds, the 2-year-old races, limited in field size. Tell us a little bit about your opinion about that and some of your 2-year-olds.
Well, we ran opening day in an 8-horse field, and the filly had a clean trip. She broke a step slow and came running the last part of it and was fourth, and we expect to run her back. And as it relates to the policy, I think we could probably go to 9 or 10, but eight's fine, and I think it's really helpful.
And you mentioned the customer service that you provide, not only through your website, but I end up on a lot of these email updates, to be honest with you. But it's not just about getting the owners money and then, oh, we'll see you at the races. You're really constantly updating the owners on how their horse is doing.
Yeah, I mean, that's really our thought, is that we would like to be in a position where you're going to get more information and get more of a flavor for exactly what your horse or your horses are doing, as opposed to if you had 2 horses in a 60-horse barn, and you called your trainer once every 2 weeks. We're updating our website every single day, and I think it helps. And I think I see more and more operations that are doing partnerships that are doing a better job, in the communications. Because really, if you're a partner, that's what you have. That's your line with your horse is right, the communication flow, and I think it's important, and we take it very seriously.
I certainly have. I've enjoyed following your horses over many years. Become friends with some of your employees, including Tom Bellhouse, who I see often up here.
He's here
Every day. See the members of the various partnerships wearing the West Point insignias and the shirts and so forth. Obviously, a group of people very proud of their participation with West Point, and certainly happy to have you here. Terry, thanks for joining us this morning.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
We do appreciate it. Terry Finley from West Point Thoroughbreds with a little bit of update about some of his horses. Log on to westpointtv.com and get all the details about their current available offerings and what is going on with a number of their horses throughout the country. They got horses all over the United States for you to follow as well. Thanks for joining us. We are going to pause for a brief message. When we return, we'll be joined